Hey, welcome to my channel. I'm a late diagnosed autistic human being from France living in the UK, and I make videos about my own experience as a late diagnosed autistic person. And this is a day in my life as a late diagnosed, a day in the life as a late diagnosed autistic person in burnout, because I've been in burnout for over 3 months at this point, maybe 4. So yeah, this is me and my cat. I woke up around between 8 and 9, I think. You can see how puffy-eyed I am. And here I'm chatting with my partner. I guess this is proof that he really exists because I talk a lot about him in my videos, but I could be making him up. That was really funny when my cat saw himself in the viewfinder. He stopped. So yeah, this is proof that my partner really exists. In case any of you had a doubt, because you could see his arm in the background. So this is a kind of a very exciting but also intimidating video to make for me because it's very vulnerable. As you'll see in this video, there's a lot of stimming involved. There's a lot of tics. There's a lot of just autistic traits being displayed because I was very much unmasked. And as a lot of late diagnosed autistic people, I'm actively working on unmasking after spending 26 years of my life being masked, and so it comes with a lot of discomfort because you have to face all the things that you have a lot of internalized shame around, and realize that actually there's no reason to be ashamed of these things or embarrassed, but you have to unlearn years and years and years of internalized stuff. It's difficult. Here my cat is chewing on some plastic, which he often does in the morning before I give him his food. I guess he's trying to get my attention. She's really cute. In case any of you are wondering, his name is Walt and he's 6 years old. He'll turn 7 at the end of this year, and he's a Bengal mix, but he's mostly British, American and British domestic cat, but he's got a little bit of Bengal and other things. And my other cat is Newt, and he is 5 years old, and he's again a domestic cat mix. So I decided to go read outside for a bit, and as you'll see, it got too hot for me very quickly. Here I was facing the sun and I was like, nope. So I went to the other side of the table and sat there for a while, but I'm very sensitive to heat, and even though it wasn't that hot that day, but just feeling the heat directly on me was too much. So here I decided to go get a fidget toy because I was fidgeting with my earring, so I got my Tangle, and my partner and I are often uncomfortable outside in the garden because there's we have lots of neighbors, and there's often people outside, and we don't like to be perceived as autistic people, so I ended up going back inside because it was too hot for me. So yeah, I'm continuing to read my book. I'm reading Unmasking Autism by Devon Price, and I'm about 30% through it, and it's really cool. I really recommend it. It's one of the best books on autism I've read so far, and it talks about masking and unmasking and why we mask and how to discover our true selves and how to unmask and stuff. So it's very dense, but it's very, very effective. Yeah. And as you'll see later on in the video, I decided to do one of the activities in the book, which basically invites you to think of an embarrassing memory from your childhood, your early life, and kind of pinpoint, you know, the emotions you felt at that point, and then on this, so that's what I'm doing here. I'm doing the exercise, which I posted pictures of on my community tab on my channel in case you want to do the activity but you don't want to buy the book. It's really cool. It really allowed me to realize all the things about myself, all my autistic traits, basically all the things that make me me, that I've grown ashamed of over my life, and that I decided to hide, which is what masking is, basically. So yeah, as you'll see in the video, I'll point it out at different times, but I'm unmasked, so, and I'm not very good at masking anyway, so even if I were trying to mask, there are a lot of things that I'm not even aware that I do. For example, I have a lot of facial tics. I don't know if they're tics or stims, but they're very much unconscious. I want to say 99% of the time. So a lot of scrunching my nose, twisting my mouth, you know, all these things, even like movements with my fingers, which I would classify more as tics than stims, but you know, it's a fine line. But these are the kind of things that I used to be so self-conscious about. And in the past, I tried having different YouTube channels, and it never lasted very long because I couldn't stand to look at myself. Here I'm making lunch. I couldn't stand to look at myself because of all these things about myself that I felt. I was like, why am I so freaking different? Why am I so weird? You know, I had internalized all that. And so I would try to mask in my videos, and then I'd still look very much autistic and weird when I looked at myself, and I couldn't stand it, so I would delete my videos most of the time, which is honestly quite sad. But now that I know that I'm just, there's millions of other people like me around the world, and there's nothing to be ashamed of, I'm much more comfortable editing my own videos. Not that I don't get the occasional cringe, I think we all do, but it's a lot easier for me. So yeah, but it's still, you know, this was a bit difficult because this just I took a shower here, and I have a lot of sensory issues around like wet hair and stuff, so like I really put an emphasis on like drying my hair on my neck and around my face, because like it's really yucky for me. So yeah, this video was very exciting to make and edit and stuff, but also, like I said, a bit difficult to watch. This is a new SPF moisturizer I'm trying. It said to pat it in with wet fingers, so that's what I did. I don't know if I'm doing it right, but I only basically use products from the brand Simple on my face. I wash my face in the shower, and then not every day, but some days, especially if I'm going to leave the house, I put on some moisturizer, and this one has SPF in it as well. So as you can see, there's a lot of stimming going on. Like, it looks like I'm shaking because it's sped up a lot, which is really funny. Yeah, I'm basically always doing something with my body, consciously or not. Also, I should point out that I'm not 100% being completely myself, because there's a camera rolling that I'm aware of, so I'm never going to be as comfortable as if there was no one looking. You know, us autistic people struggle a lot with being perceived and stuff, so it's not like I'm 90% myself, but also like the mere fact of being perceived, feeling perceived, is inevitably gonna impact my behavior, you know what I mean? So here I'm cleaning the kitchen. I really love videos of people cleaning spaces, tidying up spaces. I think it's very satisfying to watch, so hopefully you enjoy it. So the clanking of dishes and stuff is a bit harsh to my ears sometimes, so I decided to put my loops in, and I didn't realize that my camera focused on the loops and then didn't focus back on me. So for a few seconds there, the video is going to be a bit blurry. Here we go. Didn't last that long. So yeah, also like I said, I've been in burnout for 4 months at this point, and so I've just started to gain some of my energy back. So what I'm doing here in this video is very much a lot of productive stuff, which I that's not what my days looked like even like a few weeks ago. Just to give you an idea, because I used to feel so bad about not being productive enough. We live in a society where your value as a person is based on how productive you are, and so I had a lot of shame around that. And I think it's important to show that a lot of us aren't that productive, and that's okay. We're still allowed to live and be happy, and the struggle is real sometimes. And so just because I look somewhat productive in this video, I don't want you to think that this is what my life looks like all the time, especially while in burnout. That's very much like I'm being particularly productive in this video because I have more energy. But a few weeks ago, I didn't do any of that. So for example, this sink has been pretty dirty for weeks. I don't even remember the last time I cleaned it, so I decided to clean it. Also, the fact that I'm filming obviously gives me a little bit of motivation. It's that body doubling effect of like, hey, let's, it invites you to be more productive than usual. Yeah, I enjoy watching me clean my sink. So yeah, this is not what every day looks like for me. I definitely have bad days where I'm a lot less productive than this. But this was, I don't want to say it was a good day, because emotionally I'm still struggling, but even though it might not look like it in the video. But in terms of productivity, which is the only thing that society cares about, then yeah, it was kind of a successful day, I guess. I'm wearing my asking me about my current hyperfixation shirt that I got as a gift from my autism diagnosis from my partner. Really like that shirt. In case you're wondering, because watching the video back, I was a little bit frustrated by I was a little bit triggered by all the water around the sink. So in case you're triggered by that as well, don't worry. I wiped it afterwards. I just didn't film it. So here I'm taking a little break. I've been drinking these Trip drinks. They're like fizzy drinks with CBD inside. And I decided to give some treats to my cat. So his name is Walt. He was named after Walter White from Breaking Bad, because that's what we were watching at the time when we adopted him. We were re-watching the show when we adopted him. And our other cat, Newt, was named after Newt Scamander from Fantastic Beasts, because it's a really cute name for a cat. Even though I'm not a huge fan of that franchise, I still loved the name for a cat. And then afterwards we realized, so here I'm having lunch with my partner. We always have lunch together, and usually we watch Good Mythical Morning, but because it's the summer right now, they only post episodes on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays. So instead we watched another YouTube video. So if you see me talking, I'm talking to my partner, I'm not talking to myself, although I do talk to myself sometimes. And then at one point he decided to call his mom really quickly, and like, because I'm in burnout, I've been really struggling with any kind of social interaction that's not with my partner. And so like I decided not to take part in that phone call, but I was just listening and reacting at the same time. I mean, reacting silently to my partner. But there was a lot of small talk going on with my mother-in-law talking about people I don't know, and so I was very bored. You know, the struggle with small talk, especially when you hear about people you don't know. I'm like, why do I care? I don't know these people. I don't care, Which sounds kind of bad, but that's part of unmasking, is owning up to these kinds of things. So here again, it looks like I'm vibrating because I'm moving my legs, and the video is sped up like times 8, I think. So yeah. I was eating a vegan, I think it's a vegan curry with chickpeas and lentils in it and veggies. It's one of the frozen meals that we get delivered to our house every week at the moment, because while being in burnout, I just don't have as much energy to cook, and so it's very convenient to have these in the freezer for when I'm too tired or stressed to cook. So yeah. Here I'm making my second round of tea of the day. I'm making coffee for my partner and mint tea for myself. And then taking my multivitamins. You gotta stay healthy. As you can see, this was a Thursday. And then eating some peaches because they're some of my favorite fruits. So this is summer. Obviously it's July at the time of recording, but summers in the UK don't get particularly hot or sunny most of the time. Sometimes they do, but most of the time not, which I'm not mad about because I hate the heat. But yeah, if you love the heat and sunny days like my partner does, then it's a bit more of a struggle. And here I'm editing this video, which is very meta. I was always fascinated before I made videos of my own, when I would watch other YouTubers and they would say like, here's me editing this video. I would be so mind blown. I was like, how does that even work? Which might be a bit stupid of me to think, but yeah. So editing this video, which is something I love to do, is very much a stim for me. You can see I'm doing things with my fingers, things with my mouth. Like, yeah, this is a pretty vulnerable video. It's things I usually cut out of my videos when I'm editing. Well, when I'm actively talking to the camera, I don't really have facial tics and stuff. This is part of my unconscious mask. But sometimes I'll have a few facial tics and stuff, and sometimes I edit them out. So here you see the whole me, unedited, unmasked, which I think is important to show, and it's important to normalize autistic traits, autistic, behaviors, and it's important to normalize being in burnout and not working, not being productive from society's perspective. We're still allowed to live and be happy, productivity doesn't look the same to everyone, and happiness doesn't look the same to everyone. So here I'm playing with my cats because I really try to play with them every day, because they're indoor cats, they need that stimulation. Here I was looking at some ants because we have ants regularly coming into our conservatory through the cracks. I don't know how they get in, but it's pretty poorly built. So I'm playing with the carpet, the mat. I don't know. It's one of my cat's favorite games. And I try to play with both of my cats equally. I don't want one to feel left alone, you know? So then I decided to have a bit of a snack because that lunch was pretty light, so I had a banana. Also, like, editing this video, I realized I eat with my mouth open way more than I thought I did, which is kind of a pet peeve of mine, so I don't like that, but and then I ate some Grey's Marmite Crunch, which are so good, so addictive. And yeah, I ate them like a horse, but that's the best way of eating them. And here I decided to do some coloring. I didn't show it, but I have long moments during the day where I'm like just sitting there wondering what to do next. And so I decided to put on The Devil Wears Prada, which is one of my all-time favorite comfort movies from my childhood. I hadn't watched it in a while, so, and I colored my book at the same time. And you can't see it here, but whenever I watch like some of my favorite comfort movies, I like to hum or sing along to the music in the movie. It's like a stim for me. So that's what I did. And like also rewatching that movie as an adult, I realized how freaking toxic. I mean, obviously that's the whole point of the movie, but when you're a kid, you're a bit more naive. I don't know. I didn't necessarily realize how toxic the boss was, like as a person. Also, there's a scene where the guy that she's dating, she's like dressed properly. She's dressed in runway clothes, and she waits for him outside his job, his work, and then he comes out and he's like, he doesn't recognize her at first, and then he's like, we better hurry before my girlfriend shows up. And it's so obvious that he's joking, but as a little autistic me used to take it so literally. I thought, oh, did he actually recognize her, or does he actually think she's not his girlfriend? Like, I used to get so confused. I'm like, now watching it back as an adult, I'm like, oh yeah, that was little autistic me taking things literally. So yeah. And then I didn't show it here because there are a lot of creepy people on the internet. I don't want to show where I live, but I ended up taking a walk with my partner, and we sat in a park and talked, and yeah. So, and now we're eating pizza, and we're watching the last episode of Love is Blind Brazil, the latest season, the reunion. And if you've watched it, you'll know like how intense it was. Maybe don't listen to this if you don't want to get spoiled, but there's basically one of the cast members revealed on stage that she basically got sexually assaulted by the guy that she married on the show, and so that was pretty intense and unexpected. And both my partner and I are autistic, and so we didn't initially get, because they didn't actually say that she had been assaulted. They just hinted at it, and because it was a lot of reading between the lines, and as autistic people, we're not very good at that. So I actually had to go online on Reddit and see what people were saying about it, because we weren't sure we understood. But yeah, I had figured it out, but I wasn't sure. But I had to work really hard to read between the lines, though. So that was pretty shocking and unexpected, and that left a very bitter taste in our mouths. We were kind of shocked watching it. You can see it from my face. I'm like perplexed, because I was like, what's going on at some point? So that was crazy. But my partner and I love watching Love is Blind. It's a little ritual of ours. So yeah, and eating pizza as well, obviously. It's very good. And then, so that's my bedtime routine. I'm brushing my teeth, and I'm always pacing while brushing my teeth. Yeah. And then I absolutely despise flossing, but you know, you have to do it if you want to keep your mouth healthy. So I started flossing again, and yeah, don't like it. And then I also have started using mouthwash again, which is very intense. It really burns, but you know, oral hygiene is important. And then I changed into my PJs, and back in bed we are with another herbal tea. This one is like sleep time. Oh yeah, I'm reading Game of Thrones. I'm about 20% through all 5 books, and I'm drinking herbal tea from the brand Clipper. It's sleep time tea, and it's really good. It's made with lavender and other things. So I drink it every night now, because I've been struggling getting to sleep a little bit, but it definitely works. So I'll read for like anywhere between 30 minutes to, I don't know, an hour and a half, 2 hours, depending on how early I go to bed. I've been going to bed earlier than usual because of burnout. And drink my tea. And usually I listen to ASMR at the same time, but since I was recording on my phone, I couldn't listen to ASMR at the same time. So we're reaching the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say. This is just one day in my life, highly edited. Obviously I didn't show every second of my day, but if you like this video, like it, subscribe, and leave a comment. And I have a Ko-fi page down below in case you'd like to support me monetarily, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!